up, you guys? My name is Takara O'Nay, okay, or you can call me Teeks. It is whichever one that you would prefer to call me. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about all things interfacing. If you're tired of your garments looking unprofessional and homemade, then this is going to be the video for you. As a designer, I think a key element to making your garments and designs look super professional and of high quality is to add interfacing. And if you don't know what interfacing is, I'm going to tell you today. So interfacing basically is just a layer of fabric. It's a piece of fabric that you add in between other layers of fabric to add structure to a garment. It makes your main fabric look 100 times better, and it gives your designs body and strength. We see interfacing being used for so many different types of projects and detailing in design. You can use interfacing on dresses, on collars on your designs, on cuffs on your designs, on plackets, men's shirts. There's so many different ways that you can use interfacing. Interfacing is also used in handbags to add a lot more structure as well. And so again, it's just used to add that stability into your fabric. So I am currently working on a project right now that is currently behind me. If you guys haven't seen my shop with me at Joann's Fabric video, I will post it up here. But I went shopping. I was looking for some interfacing because I want to test out some interfacing on this fabric. Because I have the pleats in this design, this fabric is just like a little bit like, I don't know, so not flimsy, but I just want it to have more structure in the body parts of the garment, which again is going to help it to have more structure. It's gonna make it more like of a quality piece. And when pieces like this have more structure in the body, a lot of clients tend to like that more, and you can upcharge and charge more for garments that are of better quality, of course. So I'm gonna be focusing on applying the interfacing to the top of this garment, which is the bodice of the garment, because it has the pleats, and I feel like the interfacing will help the pleats stay in place more. So I have a couple of different types of interfacing. I'm going to be using fusible interfacing, but there are so many different interfacings that you can use. They have woven interfacing, which is really lightweight and good with washing. There's stretch interfacing. You have the sew-in interfacing where you actually sew it into your garments, and then you have the fusible interfacing, which is easier for when you're creating garments and you just want to get a project done faster. So that is what I'm going to be using today. I got 3 different kinds of interfacing. I believe this one is like a stretch interfacing, which is by the brand Pelion. And then I have the Pelion brand in the packets. Which I ended up getting the ultra light interfacing because I just want to test it out to see if I need it to be a little bit bulkier or heavier. And then I got fusible mid-weight interfacing, which is like medium to heavy weight. So I'm just going to like try these ones out. This one says it's good for blouses and dresses, and then this one says it's good for like corduroy, chino, and poplin, and like active sportswear on dresses. And this kind of gives me like sportswear type fabric a little bit. It's like a jersey stretch fabric, so we will see. I'm just going to be trying these out today for you guys to see, and showing you guys how to actually fuse the interfacing onto your fabric. You want to always make sure to pre-shrink your interfacing before you use it. I would suggest that you hand wash it and then you put it on low to dry. And then again, make sure you just choose your interfacing based off the weight of your garment. So that's why I chose a few different kinds, but you always want to make sure you use like lightweight, fusible for like cottons, and just test different ones out. So that is enough talking about interfacing. I'm going to take you guys over to my sewing table and show you guys how to actually fuse. I'm not going to be showing you guys the sew-in method, but if you guys want a different like sew-in interfacing, I would do a video on that because I didn't purchase any like sew-in interfacing, but I will do a separate video if you guys would like to see that one. But yeah, I'm going to take you guys over to my sewing table and show you guys me testing out the fusible interfacing on 3 different scrap pieces of fabric from this dress material. And then after we pick which one we like, we'll go ahead and I'll show you guys how I interfuse this. And then there'll be another video on showing you guys me creating my pleats with the interfacing completed in the inside. So without further ado, let's go ahead and head over to the sewing table. Okay, so we have our scrap fabric. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut up a few pieces of this, so that way I can test out 3 different pieces. And we're gonna go ahead and preheat up my iron. Okay, so we're just gonna trim the first interfacing. It actually can be smaller than, you basically can make it smaller than the size that you're going to be using. So this is the textured side. Okay, so you want to use the you want to put wrong sides to wrong sides. So this is the wrong side of my fabric for this, and then the textured side, the like bubbly side of the interfacing, is the side that you want to put on the wrong side of your fabric. And then you're gonna lay them on top like that. So your interfacing could be a little bit smaller than your regular fabric, because you're always gonna want to leave that like seam allowance when you're doing your project. So yeah, I'm just gonna press this and show y'all how to do it. So there are all different types of colors of interfacing. The common colors are black, white, and then they have specialty colors that you can order online. I ended up going with white for this. I probably should have did black. You just want to try to like do the colors closest to like whatever fabric that you're using. So I guess I could have did black or white on this one. I just chose white because I'm probably going to end up using a lining in this project anyways. So I just went with the white. Okay, so for this, you also want to use some type of pressing cloth or muslin over top of your interfacing and fabric when you are fusing these two together. And so I'm going to show you how that's done. I'm actually just going to like press this out some just to see what my heat setting is looking like. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. I have it on a low heat. So what I'm going to do is place the cloth over top. Make sure I got this right. Yeah. Okay, so again, the side with the bubbles goes to the wrong side of the fabric when it comes to the interfacing. And then I'm just going to be using my water bottle. I just have a little bit of water in here. And I'm going to dampen this cloth. And what the water does, I'm not going to put too much, but what the water does is it helps to fuse the interfacing together. So you just want to add a little bit of water, and then you want to press for 5 to 6 seconds. Make sure I got there. You gotta be very careful with this. Just 5 to 6 seconds. You don't want to like scan across. You want to press. And I probably should have put something underneath on this mat, because I always, when I'm working on this mat, I always end up like melting my mat. But it's okay. So it's on a low heat. Doesn't seem like it, but it is. It's like between 3 and 4. This a few times, and then you can lift it to see if it fused it together. If it didn't, then you can always go back and do whatever parts need to be fused. Like so, this didn't completely fuse up here. Looks like it did it up here and here. So I'm just gonna go through one more time. Again, you can spray more water if you need to. So I'm just gonna do it one more time, focusing where it didn't fuse. Oops. Gotta be careful with my mat. If y'all hear stuff in the background, that's my daughter. She is watching her tunes, her cartoons. So this is like super cool, you guys. I'm gonna get to see what this stretch like knit interfacing does, and if it adds the stability that I want for this particular fabric, for this design. Remember, it's all about experimenting and testing. So don't ever feel discouraged to do that when you're working on designs. It's not always going to be right the first time. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And so you can still see this interfacing on my design. I kind of messed up my fabric right here, but that's okay because it'll dry. So, but yeah, you can kind of see. And this is stretch, so it's not stretching this way as much, but it does stretch this way. And I don't know, this isn't really, I mean, feels kind of sturdy. Definitely stretch. It did give it a little bit of sturdiness. I'm trying to see like if I was to do a pleat. It just depends on the way I decided to pleat, but it definitely did add a little more stability to this garment, I can tell. So that is the first one. I'm gonna let it dry and see what happens once it dries. But overall, this is my knit one. Since that one was pretty, this one still feels like pretty thick. I'm gonna try the ultra lightweight interfacing for my next one and see what this one does. This is what it looks like when I take it out of the pack. It's pretty like thick. So this one's a little bit different because it's not stretch, it's, I believe it's woven. So, and then I feel the bubbling. So let me go ahead and cut me out a piece of this. I'm excited about this one. I don't need too much. This is the bubbled side. And I'm just gonna cut it down, like I said, because I don't want to have too much fabric. Okay, so now that we have that trimmed down, we got the, is this the wrong side? Oh, here's the wrong side. Got the wrong side of the fabrics. Bubble side facing down. Okay. I'm going to use my same cloth. It's already kind of damp, so I am going to damp it some more. Not too much. Not too much, just a dab. And then we're going to press. Okay. So this is getting pretty hot. I do need to turn my stuff down. Okay, so this went on there pretty good the first time. It doesn't look like I'm gonna have to redo it. Wait a minute, spoke a little bit too soon. Probably on this side I do. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Pretty sturdy. You just want to make sure that it's on there good. Yeah, so you always want to make sure that it's on there really good. And it looks like it's on there really good. And it's definitely on there really good. So this is the lightweight fusible fabric, ultra lightweight fusible fabric. So it has a really good like sturdiness to it. Let me see when I fold it. Okay, I think I kind of like this because it's definitely, yeah, giving the sturdiness I need to this fabric. I don't think I really need to do the other one. I'm gonna do it just for your guys' sake so you guys can see what it looks like. But I think I'm leaning toward this one, because this one is like, it's giving me that stretch, but it's still not as, I just kind of like this one, I think, because I feel like it's gonna give more body. So I just kind of like slightly put this pleat next to the one on my dress form. And you can definitely tell the difference in this as far as like how pleating goes, how this interfacing is going to hold the pleat when I'm sewing. So like I said, it definitely adds a lot more structure I can just feel the difference and the look when I'm looking at it on the dress form versus yeah, the fabric on the dress form doesn't have the interfacing, and this does. So I can definitely tell the difference, and I'm like super excited about it. So I'm, like I said, I'm really leaning toward this interfacing, but I'm gonna do the last one for you guys. And this one's still like a little bit too, those seems like it's not really giving me that structure I want. I think it's because it got like the stretch. Maybe for something else, I don't know, but yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to be using the 931 TD fusible mid-weight interfacing. So this is the medium to heavyweight fabric one. We're gonna test this one out next. Okay, ooh, they have this one like really nice and rolled up compared to the last one. Cut off a small piece. Boom. I like how this one's a little bit more side of the fabric. Boom, boom. Like that. I think this thing is still on. Oh yeah, it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Okay, that did a really good job. Okay, that's good. Okay, so this is what the heavier one looks like. Good. Okay, now this one doesn't have any like stretch, so I just have to keep that in mind when working with this one. But overall, this one is really good too. Ooh, it's trying to come apart over here because of it being like that stretch fabric. So that's why I think, like I said, I'm gonna go with the middle one, the second one that I did. So yeah. So yeah, these are our 3 different interfaces tested out on our fabric. Zoom y'all in so y'all can see. And this is how they look. So as you guys can tell, this one's a little bit more lightweight. This one's like in the middle, which I think is perfect for this fabric because this is like a lightweight to like medium weight fabric kind of. So but this is the ultra lightweight fabric, which I really like. This is the knit, and then this is our medium to heavyweight, so somewhere in between here. But yeah, overall I like all 3 of the interfacings. I feel like this one would be really good for like jackets and like suits and stuff. Probably need a heavier one for suits, but definitely like jacket. But again, you guys, remember that you can always bulk fuse when you're like working on projects as well. Basically like interfacing your whole entire fabric before starting your project, or you can do it like this. It just depends on how you want to do it. They also have the double-sided stiff interfacing as well, which is good for when you need the, like basically you need the fusible or glue to be on both sides. So if you were going to fuse like say I wanted to put this fabric on top of here, the interfacing would be in the middle, and then you just fuse it all together without this interfacing, of course. But yeah, they have that as well. So if I didn't want to like do a lining, I could just like put more of this fabric on top. So yeah, it just all depends on how you want to do it. It's all about testing and experimenting for your projects. You guys do what works best for you. Try to find the materials that work best for your project. But yeah, this is how to fuse interfacing. Super easy, and I promise you it's going to help your garments to look so much less like handmade and less like flimsy and not supportive, because we all love a good supportive garment. I am tired of seeing the stretchy stuff, okay? I want to see the good quality, sturdy, supportive garments and designs for my gals. So yeah, so that is it for this video, you guys. I hope you guys learned a lot about interfacing and I taught you something new. If I did, go ahead and comment below one new thing that you learned or that was valuable throughout this video, and let me know what other like sewing and fashion design techniques that you guys would like to learn from me in the comments below. Don't forget to check out one of these two playlists right here and binge watch some more design and sewing tutorial content. In the meantime, like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys, and I will see you at the top. Peace.